Okay, can you call roll for us, please?
Mr. Stewart. Here. Mr. Zimmerman. Here. Mr. Fain. Here. Ms. Logan. Here. Mr. Peterson.
Here.
Mr. Moulter. Ms. Stoller. Here. Mr. Richards. Here. Ms. Lang. Mr. Stevenson. Thank you.
Okay, we have a quorum to conduct tonight's business. First item on the agenda is approval of previous minutes from 3/2/22. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Motion is second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Okay, motion carries. We're to public hearing, RZ 221, Abbott Commons.
Greetings, Bree King, Planning and Zoning. Today we have a rezone petition for Abbott Commons. As you can see, it is
And
far
Bree,
north.
I hate to cut you off. Can you move your microphone
Oh,
down?
yep.
Thank you.
Sorry, there we go. We're talking about Abbott Commons, which is northeast of Prairie Baptist and 136th. So it's in between 136th and the Highway 69. Currently, it is zoned R2 and is also in the I-69 overlay. The R2 district is intended to provide for single-family homes in a lower density range, approximately 1 to 1.7 dwelling units per acre. The property is currently vacant at this time. The Fishers 2040 plan also shows single-family detached residential. The Fishers 2040 plan recommends suburban residential, which is 2 to 4 dwelling units per acre. Abbott Commons is proposing 3.5 units per acre. So this is more dense than the 1 to 1.7 units allowed at the current zoning, but well within the Fishers 2040 plan. The proposed underlying zoning districts are R5 and M2, except as modified in the PUD ordinance. Here you can see an overview of the concept plan. There are 3 distinct sections and 345 units in total. So you can see at the very front here along 136 is the Heritage Collection. These are going to be rear-loaded homes, and staff believes this will create a nice corridor along 136. In the rear, closer to the highway, you'll see the Venture Collection. These are front-loaded homes. They'll be closer to the highway, so they're going to be a lower price point there. In the corner, you'll see the townhomes are going to be part of this project as well. And then here you can see the path system that is proposed throughout the community. So there's also 3 entrances off of 136. You can see right at Prairie Baptist, center of the proposal, and then near the amenity center on the eastern side. There are 6.7 miles of paths and sidewalks. The green on the picture represents the paths, and the red are sidewalks. There is proposed a curb cut for the church on the far west, if you can see, can't see right there. So a pool and an amenity center are on the southeast corner, and there's a dog park and a playground near the north center of the property, near that diagonal path there. Here you can see an easy, quick overview of the PUD development standards. So they are requesting a decrease in lot size, frontage, and setbacks, but they are providing an increase in floor area that exceeds the UDO requirements, more open space and parkland, more walking trails, and they're also proposing to plant native species for their landscaping requirements. This also features a mix of for-sale housing types, so it has the single-family homes as well as the townhomes, and the architecture is going to be reviewed through the PUD committee. We have had one written remonstration from Ramiro Rivera, who resides in Silverton, and his concerns included traffic. So a summary of that remonstration was in the staff report. Road improvement design is currently underway for 136th Street, and our engineering department is aware of future growth and preparing accordingly. The memo from this department was included for your review in the staff report. So the 136th Street improvements are estimated to begin in 2024 per our engineering department, and you can see here that it'll be 15-foot 2 lanes with a median and dedicated turn lanes. The traffic memo from engineering concludes that the corridor will operate in a safe and efficient manner as they have designed it. Another public comment that was received from Robert Kessler was regarding interest in the land itself and requested a continuance from this committee. Staff recommends a favorable recommendation of Abbott Commons to council, so we don't necessarily recommend that continuance. So staff recommends Plan Commission send a favorable recommendation to City Council as it complies with the 2040 vision and fits the character of the area, and we're available for questions as well.
Any questions for staff? Okay, I'll turn it over to the petitioner, Steve.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the Plan Commission. For the record, my name is Steve Harden. I'm a partner in the law firm of Fagery Drinker, and I'm pleased to be here this evening representing Boomerang Development and Lennar Homes. From Boomerang, Corby Thompson is here tonight, and from Lennar, Keith Lash, and Tony Vigato is here as well. So if you have any questions for them, they'd be happy to answer those. Bree did a great job of giving you the overview of the project. I won't go over that again, other than just to share with you that Corby has been working with the mayor and the administration and the planning staff for a little bit over a year now on this project that is adjacent to the interstate and also along 136th Street. So we have two important corridors on the south and the north of how to address and appropriately design and plan the project. And so we also had a unanimous favorable recommendation from the Architectural Review Committee earlier this evening. We did hold a neighbor meeting some time ago. We had 3 neighbors attended. 2 of them were from the Silverton neighborhood to the south. Mr. Ramirez, I believe if I'm pronouncing that correctly, was one of those. He did bring up traffic concerns. They recognized and chuckled that they just moved to Fishers in their new homes just a couple of years ago, and so just like all new areas where they're growing, we're going to have additional traffic, and so they recognize that. We did share with them the updated plans. There was a great traffic memo, as Bree mentioned, from Jason. We share with them the plans that the city has already. They've already done the improvements out there to the 2 main intersections in this area, at Cynthia Ann and Prairie Baptist, and then the new plans to make the improvements that we just saw up on the screen to bid in 23 to make those improvements in 24. And I think Mr. Ramirez made the comment that, well, that looks like that'll be good timing for when this project would actually get developed and built and homes starting to be, moved into. The other neighbor who had a question was about drainage, and shared, as we hear often, that there's currently drainage problems in the area because it's farmland and there's not a lot of control over the storm water when it rains. We then shared with him how the plan works to have to retain the water more than it normally is done today and to retain it, and I think they were satisfied to hear those answers as well. And with that, we'd be happy to answer any questions you have. Otherwise, we'd request your favorable recommendation to the City Council. Thank you very much.
Any question for the petitioner? If not, I'll go ahead and open up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on this topic, please raise your hand. I'll call you to the podium. You have 3 minutes in which to speak on this matter. Make sure you state your name and address for the record too, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Josh Huser, 12863 Shakespeare Way. Just a quick question for city staff. Will a temporary use permit be required for the model home?
And we'll address all questions after the public hearing is closed.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else wishing to make comment on this item? Once, twice, 3 times, gone. I will close the public hearing. Any questions from the committee at all? Megan, do you want to answer that question?
Yes, so for any model home, a temporary use permit will be required.
Any questions from the committee? You move to say what again, Bill? Favorable recommendation. So I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, I have a second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed or abstained? Okay, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're moving on to old business. Megan, any old business?
No old business.
Okay, any staff communication, summary of council action?
Yeah, so just one update from council last meeting. So if you guys recall the Bel Canto project called the Cottages, you guys had sent an unfavorable recommendation to city council, and council did last month vote to deny that request. So that is really the only update I have from last month's council. This Abbott Commons will be on the council agenda for April for final reading.
Awesome. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourned.